All over Minnesota, we're seeing a fundamental shift in our economy. Communities are no longer trying to find jobs, they're trying to find workers. In 2017, the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce reported that 2/3 of Minnesota businesses were having difficulty finding workers to fill their open jobs, and the pressure to fill these open jobs is highest in rural Minnesota. The Center for Rural Policy and Development looked at the causes and potential solutions to the workforce shortage, and here's what we found. Baby boomers are getting older and heading toward retirement, and smaller families mean fewer young people to replace them. The Minnesota State Demographic Center projects that by 2030, Greater Minnesota's 25 to 44-year-olds, prime working age, will have grown by about 21,000, while the region's total workforce will shrink by more than 33,000. Communities across the state are already having serious difficulties finding doctors, nurses, teachers, welders, even bus drivers and plumbers, all jobs that are necessary to keep an economy healthy. In response to the shortage, businesses have been raising wages, especially in Greater Minnesota. Wages for vacant jobs in Greater Minnesota are closing in on the 7-county metro area. At the same time, more jobs are full-time, offer healthcare benefits, and on-the-job training. But where will these workers come from, and how will they find out about all these jobs? It won't be easy. The current narrative about Greater Minnesota says that rural Minnesota is dying, creating a distorted image of what it's like to live in rural areas. A lack of resources for rural communities has made it difficult to dispel that myth. There is no one promotion council to promote Greater Minnesota, or one coordinated job site advertising jobs. But many communities are developing their own programs anyway, to either attract new workers or to work with people already there. The Get Rural Minnesota initiative in the Upper Minnesota Valley and Live Wide Open in West Central Minnesota offer multiple programs and services to entice newcomers to their regions, while Project Fine in Wabasha works with immigrants to help connect them with employment and their new community. Businesses feeling the pressure to fill job vacancies are also turning to people who have been traditionally hard to employ. People with barriers that can range from not speaking English to disability to a criminal record. In the past, employers have been reluctant to work with this group of people because they require special accommodations, translation services, special equipment, time off, or even access to a car. The pressure to fill jobs, though, is starting to push employers to work with networks of services to help people get and hold on to a job. Employment strategies are also targeting the next generation of workers. The conventional narrative has said for decades that high school graduates must move to the big city to find success. Surveys of high school students, however, indicate that 3/4 of them believe that they can get a good job in their field of choice where they already live. Local leaders are working to tap this optimism by holding job fairs that show off opportunities in students' backyards. Businesses are also making investments in students' futures through foundations and scholarships. Schools in the business community are partnering to develop guidance, technical education, internships, and apprenticeships that give kids an introduction to in-demand, hands-on jobs. Even with these efforts, though, it's still an uphill battle against the workforce shortage. Our research found these initiatives all face barriers, and these barriers are uniquely rural. Many of these barriers exist because of policy, and policy can help remove these barriers. To read more about the workforce shortage and our recommendations to support rural Minnesota's efforts, visit us at ruralmn.org.